Hi, this is Kamal the Builder. Welcome back to one of our projects. Today we will talk about stone and granite. As you can imagine, any project, pretty much whether it's a home, an ADU, requires a kitchen, at least one kitchen. Sometimes in homes we have a kitchen and a butler's pantry. So with these kitchens, we generally have cabinets, and on top of the cabinets we have countertops. And sometimes we have an island, all depends on the design. So with these countertops or islands or even vanity tops in the bathrooms, we generally need a certain material, whether it's marble, granite, quartzite, or even machine-made material. There's some details about how this material is selected, what type of material you need, and how is it fabricated, how is it installed. So today we will cover all these aspects. And regardless of what material you use, let's start with a few things, few considerations in design so that you can communicate better with your fabricator, and also we'll make you aware of some of these issues in design so you can pick the right material and have the right discussion with your installers. With that, let's start with this kitchen behind me, and we'll point out a few things and then we'll move on to the next kitchen. And we'll end our project with pictures of some of the kitchens we've recently completed. Stay with us, hopefully you'll enjoy it. So we will show you today some selection of slabs at our partner in San Jose. They're called Apex Marble. They do a really good job providing lots of slabs of different material. So let's start with their logo. It all starts with the customer selecting a slab for their countertops, the kitchen islands, and so on. So they go to an outlet and they buy the right type of slab that fits the design of their kitchen and their countertops. And behind me you can see another type of slab, and basically the customer ends up buying what they want. Here are some other examples. So you can see they come in various colors, textures, they have different types of grains on them, and they're made of different materials: porcelain, quartzite, granite. Sometimes these are man-made materials, so it all depends on what they want. How this process works is you have to buy the right number of slabs for your cabinets. For that, the cabinets have to be measured. We need to know the surface area of the cabinets where your countertops will go. Once you have the right number of slabs, basically after the cabinets are installed, the fabricator of the slabs will come and pick up the slabs from the place where you bought them, and the fabricator takes them into a fabrication process. We'll show you a video of what happens there. And after that, the finished slabs are installed on top of your cabinets, and that forms the countertops. So we have different types of materials used in slab. There is quartz, there is marble, there is granite. We will include some information about the difference between these materials. Before we go there, let's give you a quick look at how stones are arranged and different types of textures, colors, and so on. So we'll give you a quick video of some of these stones. As you can see, the stone is available in so many different types, so many different colors, color schemes, from very dramatic to very subtle. Let's talk about step 2. By this time, when we get to step 2, the countertops are installed. So basically the fabricator lays out what's called a template on the countertop, and the template looks like this. The template basically describes where the countertop has a sink in it, for example, where it has to be cut, where it has joints, where one piece of stone joins another piece of stone. So all that is done. In the older days, that particular template would be placed on the stone, and then the stone goes into the machine that cuts the stone. That was the old way of doing it. Now, really, people who are really on top of things like Marvelous, they enter the template information into a CAD program, and from the CAD workstation, that information gets transferred to the workstation here of the machine that cuts it. Now we'll take you to the CNC machine where the template information has been entered through the network from the workstation into this one here, and then the machine will start cutting it. You see the saw behind me of a huge machine that cuts these slabs. And by the way, I'm here at the fabrication facility of Marvelous. Marvelous is a wonderful partner of ours, and they do a lot of work with us in terms of fabricating these slabs. You can see their logo behind me, and we'll certainly provide that information in our description as well. So follow me as we describe how these things are done. Behind me is a brand new CNC machine, and then we'll take you to the workstation of the machine, and here we have Leo. Leo has tons of experience in this space. He's with me, and he will describe how the workstation gets set up and what we're doing there. Hi, Leo.
Hi, how are you? Leo and Aldo here. Hi. Okay. All right, yeah, so we're gonna give you a quick review on how this works. So that's a slab right there that the machine took a picture. The machine has a camera right on top of the tower. And so that takes a picture of the slab. Then the slab is already here. So now we're gonna go into our menu to bring our job. And then as you can see, this is a big island with a sink and a cooktop. Okay, so that we're getting ready to cut. Now what we gotta do real quick, we're gonna start selecting our edges. So this lines with a dashed line underneath that represents the miter. This is miter right here. So we already have it selected. Zoom in, and then we have another miter here. Zoom out. Okay, so you can see all the miter and edges around it. So we're ready to go into the cutting process. So we're gonna go automatic. Okay, so more lines came in. So that's our sink and that's our cooktop. This is the arrow says how the machine is gonna start cutting.
Wow, really cool.
Yeah. So because this is porcelain and it's kind of a little dangerous, we're gonna not wanting to cut those openings right now because porcelain is very delicate, so I'm just gonna delete the cuts for us.
And we were earlier talking about 6 mm versus 12 mm.
Yes.
So this machine is able to cut both 6 mm and 12 mm porcelain.
Yeah. The only thing is we choose not to cut our openings right now because it's really close here, and we don't want to have a problem with it. That's all. Yeah. So
and you know, some of our customers may ask a question.
Yeah.
What's the difference between porcelain, granite, or the man-made material when it comes down to fabrication? What difference do you see?
So it's a big range, right? So
Yes.
when a long time ago, 20 years ago, the only was available was granite
Yes.
and marble.
Yes.
Granite, marble, natural stones, those have been around for a very long time. The Romans had the marble and all that. So that's a soft material and it's easy to cut, easy to fix. Something happened. Now the quartz is a man-made material, as you describe it.
Yes.
That is new stuff that we still kind of getting, discovering new things, new features and things like that. So it's really easy to work. Actually, quartz is one of the easy materials to work with.
Wonderful.
But the complaints that we hear from customer is they're like plain. They still look like a man-made.
Got it.
So people want to see a little more contrast.
Sure.
That's why porcelain look nicer, because really, you can compare one of these slabs and they can look like a natural marble.
Wow, nice.
Right?
Nice.
The only thing with porcelain, you have to really know how to work it. And you work it at a slow speed.
Wow.
The machine runs at very low speed.
Sure.
The fabrication moves at low speed just because it's delicate to work with.
Exactly.
That's why it's a little more expensive to work it, and it takes longer, but at the end, when it's installed, usually it's one of the strongest material.
That's wonderful.
You get nothing through. It's porcelain, so
Yes.
you realize, nothing is gonna go through.
It's not
right?
porous. Yeah.
Yeah. So and as long as you prepare your edges nice and you take the time, you shouldn't have a lot of chips on it.
True.
Then that's one of the best materials.
Wonderful. That's great.
The last material was brought in is the quartzite. Quartzite is very almost like a marble looking, but it's a little harder than granite.
Yes, yes.
So that's one of the other best materials, you know, because that's almost very, it's also almost bulletproof too.
Yes.
You know, that's one of the good ones too. And it has really nice colors.
Yeah, we've installed a lot of Brazilian quartzite. It has these aspects, they glow. When you walk around the stone, they glow. Yeah. It's very expensive, but it looks beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. So are we ready to start cutting?
Let's give you a close-up of the machine, and something you'll notice is all the water around here. Why is water important both in this machine and the other machine we'll show you? Water cools down the blade as the blade is cutting the stone. So that's why you see all this water hoses, you see the channel drains, because clearly while the machines are being operated, you don't want water collecting here. So the water is falling on the blade all the time, and then the water just flows and collects into these channel drains. Let's show you the other machine as well, and you'll see all the water that flows around the blade. So while the machine is operational, you can imagine water is falling on the blade all the time, and it's falling on the stone all the time, and then the water flows away. And the job of the machine is to have a very level surface and to move in a very predictable fashion so that it makes these straight cuts very, very carefully. And the speed of the cuts, the speed at which the blade moves, is predetermined. So for softer stones, they're moving more slowly. Here's the control panel of this machine here. Various attachments, so you can see it's pretty technical, and that's why the operators have to be trained very properly to use these machines. They get quite complicated. You can see for this other machine, all the electronics are behind the machine here. So this is a brand new machine, and very innovative, and is doing a lot of interesting things. I'll get you closer to the blade so you can see what's going on here. And again, these channels are here to drain all the water away, and the slab is sitting on this surface here. It's very level, very stable. The surface has to be level and stable so that the slab gets cut very, very precisely. So that's the next thing that we'll show you once we start the machine.
Okay, so right now we have all cuts all figured out. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna send it to simulation, and you're gonna see how the blade moves just to make sure we are safe on all aspects. So you see how that's going?
Basically, no surprises for the operator. You want to know how it's going to happen.
Yep. Yeah. We definitely want to make sure our miters are, you know, one in and one out.
Exactly.
So we don't have any miscuts.
Are your miters almost always at 45 degrees or a different?
No, we actually run it at a 46 degree.
Got it.
So it has a little bit of more room for the glue. It's only it's only one, it's only one, but when you combine it, it's basically two. So
exactly.
It has two degrees right there.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's ready to send. So now we saw it here, we feel confident then it's gonna cut it over there.
Absolutely.
We don't
Wonderful.
have to. Are you ready for that?
Yes, okay. Absolutely.
Right now, I'll look, it's gonna hit a start.
That's the magic start button.
Yep.
The light turned on. The machine is starting.
So it's gonna go measure the blade. Something it wants to do, it wants to make sure that the blade is the right blade, so when it start cutting, everything is precise.
Wow. And how is it measuring the blade? Is there a laser somewhere?
Yeah, no, it's a pivot. You see the pivot right there?
Yes. Got it. Wow.
So we have it, so it's gonna default to the miter cut.
Yep.
So it's gonna start with a miter cut, and then it cuts straight cuts at the end.
Wonderful. So that's the 46-degree miter cut we were talking about. You see all the water flowing. As you can see behind me, the blade moves in various ways. The blade can be made to move up or down. It can be made to move at an angle, so it's cutting the miter, and it moves left and right, so that it's cutting all along the length or width of the stone. And you can always raise it and lower it as you need. So the blade is highly movable in various directions, as you can see. The machine is running, the software is showing us on the screen what's going on, and I'll give you a close-up of what it's doing. We started there and the machine has made it all the way here. Beautiful. Welcome back. So far we've talked about stone selection. We've given you an inside view of the fabricators and the equipment they use to fabricate the stone. So now we are talking about the third and final step. Now the stone is going to be installed. You see behind me in this truck, we have a bunch of stones that have been cut to the measurements that we described earlier. Let's give you a quick view of the slabs after they've been cut and after they've been gone through the fabrication process. So stay with me and we'll show you what's going on. Each of these pieces has been cut. You can see the edge has been made. In the industry term, these are called OGs, and there's so many different types of OGs. This one is straight for this customer, and this is how the stone is carried in the back of a pickup truck. You can see the edge here. This is for the kitchen sink. The kitchen sink has been cut out to the measurements, and the template for the kitchen sink is provided with the sink. So the template is laid out and this is cut properly. So that's what's going on in the pickup truck. All the pieces are here and next they will be installed. If any changes have to be made in the field, we make a template and then we bring the slab and then cut it according to the template in the field so that things are really precise. Let's show you a couple pictures of that and show you what's going on behind me. this kitchen is being completed, so pardon the dust, and we have some cardboard pieces here and there just to cover the countertops. And keep in mind, we don't select the countertops or the material or any finished material, our customers do. So this may not agree with your taste, but it's something that a certain customer chose, so let's work with that. So here in this kitchen, we have a man-made material, and as you think of your kitchen, figure out what material you need here, how busy it needs to be, how does it match or contrast against the color of the walls. And here you need to also figure out what type of backsplash you want against the cooking range. And when it comes to the kitchen sink, same thing here. What type of backsplash do you want? Does it go this high? Should it go this high? Should it go as high as the bottom of the top cabinets? Those are various considerations that have to be made. Also, does your sink have to be an undermount sink like this one, or does it have to be an overmount sink? That's a consideration that you have to make when you think of this. At the edge also, how far do these stick out and what pattern this needs to have? This is called an OG, and there are various types of OGs provided that can be fabricated. Does it have a straight 90-degree edge, or does it have a curved OG type of edge? It all depends on your design and your preference. And also, as you think of the sink, should it have 3 holes? This is a common 3-hole pattern where you have a soap dispenser, 1 hole for the faucet and 1 hole for the dishwasher air gap. This is called an air gap. Sometimes for the faucet you need 3 holes or 2 holes by itself, so then it ends up being a 5-hole or 4-hole sink. So all that has to be sorted out before the countertops are fabricated and installed. So there you have it. These are some details of what you need to set up and decide upon as you get your countertops fabricated. Let's show you another quick video before we wrap up this entire video, and we'll show you a few more specifics. Carrying over from the previous video, we'll describe some of the details of the kitchen sink, show you the material, and show you how a few of the things are laid out in this particular kitchen. So let's start with that. This is a farmhouse sink. The sink generally sticks out when it's a farmhouse sink, and you generally will see a sink centered with the window. There's generally a window outside the kitchen sink. This sink is offset, and that's the design here. And this sink is a 3-hole sink, one for the faucet that's usually in the center, usually lines up with the drain, one for the soap dispenser, and one for the air gap for the dishwasher, and the dishwasher will be to the right of the sink. The material here, you can see, has some artifacts, some veins in it, but not too busy, quite subtle, and in the overall kitchen it looks pretty nice. There you go, and the dishwasher is sitting right here. So that's what this kitchen looks like. And in the previous video we talked about these edges. Here the customer has not decided what type of backsplash they want. We will know in the coming days if they want a tile backsplash or a different material for the backsplash, and that may influence removing these and putting these back in. Not a big deal, that can be done, and then this kitchen will be complete. Here's a view of another kitchen. Let's show you some of the details that we've mentioned in the previous video. Let's look at how this particular kitchen is arranged. Undermount sink, as we mentioned. This one, interestingly, has 2 holes. This is the dishwasher air gap, and this is of course for the faucet. So no soap dispenser was specified in this one. Slightly busier material than what we showed you in the previous videos. And then now you see the backsplash. This particular backsplash has tile. The tile goes all the way through to the cooking range, and then it usually goes up, and here it goes up for the range hood. So that's how this backsplash is set up, and this goes all the way, and this particular countertop wraps around and the backsplash wraps around with it, and we have the top kitchen cabinets. These kitchen cabinets are actually white, but they have a film on them, a protective film, so we've left the film on. This particular kitchen also has an island, and you see the overhang here, and some islands have drawers, some don't have drawers, some have microwaves within, so it all varies. And usually above the island you'll see a lighting fixture as well. So we're back to this kitchen. Now we've shown you a few kitchens, different types of kitchens. Let's share with you some pictures of other kitchens, and that will conclude our project. There you have it. We've shown you several types of stones used in different kitchens. We've described different types of stones, how the countertops are laid out. We've shown you an island. We've described the types of sinks that people are installing these days. These are some of the kitchens we're building most recently, and of course there'll be more. We can certainly add more in future videos. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so that you're notified of future videos as we post them. See you at the next video. Bye bye.